This is where all the end users will be connected. Okay. So more about the LAN. Okay. Now in that, again, you have the designing hierarchy. You have the access level switches, core level switches, or different levels. Again, we'll talk about the design. That's what will mainly focuses on the switching session. Okay. Now in the advanced switching sessions, we expect you to have already a basic knowledge of the switching part, like how the switches learn the MAC address, how to configure the basic commands. But majorly here we'll start with a VLAN. So where we'll again start with what is VLAN and why we do that. And then you learn uh, trunking, inter-VLAN routing. There are many concepts as we move on. Okay. So the idea here is in the case of advanced switching. Now, again, when I say advanced switching, we are not getting into the basic switching, because most of the time, switching looks very simple. As you can see, it is just simple interconnection of devices. But again, when you start building it, you'll start facing the problems. Okay. Simple example, let's say you have a user in the VLAN 10 is unable to access a PC. Now the user simply says he's unable to access the internet. It's a very simple issue, you might be thinking, but there are many things you need to actually check. So here, in the case of advanced switching, we are mainly focusing on how to design and how to implement, and as well as how to troubleshoot. Okay. So the CCNA level, you have done the VLANs, but that is more kind of an understanding the concepts. But whereas here we'll try to see how we actually design, what is the best practice, and how we troubleshoot those things. Okay. So if the user is not unable to access the VLAN, the problem can be anywhere. If you think the problem is, the gateway and this user should be in the same VLAN, a simple rule. And again, there should be a trunk links, whatever the links connecting between the switches, there should be trunk. And additionally, that trunk link should allow the specific VLAN 10. So there are many things you need to consider while you are doing some troubleshooting, and that's what you actually learn here. Because sometimes there might be some loops, you also see the switching loops will occur when you add some links. That's where you again learn STP, because most of the time we generally think STP runs on its own. It runs on its own, but you actually learn how to optimize it by running a per VLAN spanning tree, or multiple spanning tree. Or you might be adding some EtherChannel links, more kind of an optimization. Okay. So if you try to see, the most of the concepts looks the same as what you do in the CCNA, but actually you deep dive into this. Like, in the CCNA, you just learn how to create the VLAN, how to do inter-VLAN routing. If not, anyway, we'll cover it here. But whereas in the CCNP, we'll see how we actually design them, or how you need to plan the VLANs based on the requirement of any customer or any setup, and how you configure it end to end. Okay, so a simple thing, if you design any network, like take a simple example, let's say there is a customer, there are some kind of general requirements we face while we do solutions. So the customer, there is a simple network. Let's say there's a college, university network. They have around 500 CCTV cameras, let's say, connected. Not just 500. You can just span, like, there will be somewhere around, there are some access points. Let's say you have around, 50 to 60 CCTV cameras, which has been set up. And, you generally see this cameras working fine, but there is the picture, the picture is not very clear. Sometimes it hangs. That is purely because of the not having a proper design. The design was simple, if you take a simple example, like we generally face when we observe, it's a very flat network. It's a simple flat network with just one VLAN, and all the 500 devices, including computers, cameras, everything in one VLAN. That will create a broadcast issues. Okay. So, or if you don't have the proper design, then that will create a problem. Okay. So in the CCNP, you actually learn how we can limit that, how we can design building by building, floor by floor. Okay, that's what we actually learn here. The same thing, if you take the same thing with STP as well, you know what is STP in the CCNA. Again, we'll revise if needed in the switching topics. But here, what you'll do is you'll optimize this, because you need to optimize, you need to select the right route bridge. That is important. Okay, so not just running the STP. Okay, so if you, and also the convergence, you need to make sure that STP converges faster, where you run RSTP instead of STP, and why we run all these things, how we can design with VLANs. So those are the things. So generally in the CCNP, you actually optimize. You just don't simply run the STP, you optimize it. Even you implement some high availability features like port aggregation, where between the switches you combine multiple links into one link. You run some HSRP. HSRP is again another concept you generally see. You'll have this code switches in the design, which is connecting to the ISP. Then you make them as a one gateway. The main reason here is, if this goes down, then you can go from here. Redundancy part, we'll see all this stuff. That is what high availability concepts like port channel, EtherChannel or HSRP, these concepts comes under the high availability. And additionally, you also learn some other options like span or span. Now, this is again another important feature. Like a simple example, let's say it's a port mirroring kind of thing. We'll talk about this. Generally used for troubleshooting. If you want to do some packet captures to analyze your data using Whiteshark, or if you want to use some other scenarios, you generally enable some features called span, switch port analyzer, or RSpan. This kind of features you enable. Okay, so switching is more about the LAN. But at the same time, you actually don't do the basic switching. You actually do some advanced switching where you just not only configure, you actually design the networks. Because this is one of the major technical gap you'll find in most of the engineers. Even though you are working for 5 to 10 years of experience, and if you don't know how the things are going to work, or how the behavior is actually between the switches or between the vendors, that is where you will face the challenge, because you will be running on a critical network where you cannot have a downtime. At the same time, you need to make sure that your network performs more better way. So that's what you do here. So switching looks straightforward, but at the same time, you need to know how to troubleshoot, how to understand, or how to figure out the misconfigurations if there are any, how to verify the outputs, and based on the outputs, understanding the network, or if there is any issues in the network, how you are going to fix it. Okay, so you just don't you don't just configure, you actually expertise the switching concepts here. Okay, so that's what mainly the one of the section in this focuses on. Again, there are 5 different sections you will generally focus. In that one, the first one we can say like more about the switching technologies. So we'll be spending some time on understanding these things. So there will be 2 to 3 week sessions we'll be covering, like 5 to 6 sessions will be focusing on only understanding these things. At the same time, at the end, I'll be sharing in a mock lab and troubleshooting scenario where you will also get into implementation. There is a mock lab which I documented. So you just need to set up that lab, which will give more hands-on on the real network, how all these technologies work together. In a simple packet tracer, or in a virtual software, you can do it in the GNS3 or EVNG. At the same time, while you're doing, you also do the troubleshooting. You can add some issues, and you can also do some troubleshooting. That is again the outcome, what you will find once you're done with the switching topics.